Everybody has a place in life in which they wonder, why is God not answering my prayers? You may be going through some strife. You may be facing some challenges or difficulties, or there may be something that you've had on your heart that you have been wanting God to give you, and you've wondered, why have I not received an answer? And Jesus understood this, and he dealt with it in the book of Matthew chapter 7 in his famous Sermon on the Mount, which we've been going through over the last few months. And in verse 7, he says this. He says, "Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it will be open." And so Jesus almost gives us a formula for receiving results in our prayer life. And if we have the question, why is God not answering my prayers? Jesus is able to give us a formula in which we can experience results from God. The first thing he says is ask. And it's a Greek word that actually refers to like a child asking their parent for something, or a servant asking their master for something. It's a word that depicts somebody who is humbly coming before someone who has higher authority and asking and submitting a request. So the first thing we need to do in order to receive an answer to our prayers is to approach God appropriately. That is, we need to come before his throne with humility, understanding that he is God and we are not. Number two, Jesus says seek. He says seek and you shall find. And seeking implies diligence. So if we're going to pray for something, we need to do so diligently. We don't just pray for it once. If we're convinced that it's God's will, we are constantly seeking God in prayer, being diligent, not allowing ourselves to become discouraged, but pushing forward in prayer, knowing that God will reply. And then thirdly, Jesus says knock. Knock, which implies confidence. We need to approach God confidently. But Jesus knew that people struggled with approaching God confidently because of our sin. We wonder, why does God want to answer my prayers? But he says here in verse 9, what man among you, if asked by his son for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will he give him a serpent? If you, then, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him? So Jesus understood we would struggle with confidence in prayer. And so he says, let your confidence be not rooted in your personal goodness because you don't have any. You're sinful. You don't deserve an answer to your prayers. But let it be rooted in God's goodness. If evil people will give their kids an answer to their request, how much more will not God, who is good in every way, answer your request? We have to understand that confidence in God's goodness, it leads to effective faith. We'll have a deflated faith if we don't have confidence in God's goodness. We'll approach prayer like, well, God, if you feel like it, maybe please answer my prayer. But if not, that's okay as well. No, Jesus says, ask, come before me humbly and ask me. Number two, seek, be diligent. And then number three, be confident. Knock. Be confident that I would like to answer your prayer. And then finally, in verse 12, Jesus shows us that the purpose of prayer is love and not self-gratification. He ends it up and he says, therefore, whatever you want men to do unto you, do also to them, for this is the law and the prophets. It's the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And he's saying, in the context of his formula for effective prayers, ask, seek, knock, and pursue love not selfish gain. So oftentimes we are asking and we're seeking and we're knocking, but we're doing so out of the wrong heart. And God's saying, ask for the benefit of others, for the spiritual growth of yourself into being one who does unto others as you would have them do unto you. Too often we pray selfish prayers. Too often we're pursuing the things of this world, and God's not answering us because we're praying amiss. And so I hope this teaching today was a blessing for you. These devotionals, we put these out because we do a ministry to people suffering from addiction, and these devotionals are recorded in order to be a blessing to them, but we also like to get them to as many people as possible. And so we're just inviting you, if you're not part of our ministry, but if you're tuning in to this devotional, to just partner with us in prayer and pray as we seek to fight the epidemic of addiction. To learn more about what we do, you can go to freedomjourneyhelp.org. I'm looking forward to tuning in with you with our next devotional as we finish up the Sermon on the Mount. God bless.